Hey, and welcome to Teagsley Talks. I'm Tegan, a wellness enthusiast, conscious creator, and life learner, where we talk all things well-being, spirituality, lifestyle, and mindset. I give you an inside look at my brain, my habits, and the life I live, so together we can live our dream lives. Here we are a community of loving souls wanting to live incredible lives and feel wildly good doing it. Join me every week as I download the next potty of goodness.
Hello, my lovely souls, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so grateful that you are here and spending your time with me today. I hope you're having a beautiful day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world, and just enjoying your morning. Today's podcast is going to be everything about why you are holding yourself back. I've come into a big realization with something that I have been moving through, so I want to speak about it. That's usually how these podcasts come up and around and about. So today we are going to talk about a few things of why we hold ourselves back, what we can do to move through that, some actual actionable steps to get a new story in your head and how to move through these situations. So grab a tea or go on your hot girl walk, or if you're a dude, I don't know, what do dudes do when they're listening to podcasts? If you're a dude and you're listening to this, what are you doing to get this in your ears? You're probably driving. Maybe it's driving. Anyway, so let's dive into some breath work. We're going to do Nadi Shodhana. Now, we've done this on the podcast quite a few times. You can't do this one while you're driving or operating heavy machinery. So make sure that you either just join in without the hand gesture. And if you are walking, maybe just sit on the park bench somewhere just for a quick moment to join in. So what we do is you place your pointer finger and your middle finger in between your eyebrows where your third eye is. And you hover your thumb over your nostril and your ring finger on your other nostril. And what we do is we take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale out through both nostrils. Close down the eyes. Now block the right inhale left. Cover the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. And then just relax the breath, coming back into the space. Just allowing the masculine and the feminine energies to work in beautiful harmony together. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, we both have the masculine and the feminine energies within us. If you've been listening to this podcast, you probably already know that, but if you're new, we all have masculine and feminine energies within the body, and the masculine is like the doing, and then the feminine is like the creative, the playful, the rest. So sometimes when we go through our day, we're really masculine, really doing. But when we come home, we need to come back into our relaxed, feminine essence. So it's just really good for balancing those. Or if you're too in your feminine and you are struggling to get things done, it's really good to bring that masculine energy through to help you get things done. So let's do an intention, because I keep forgetting the intention. I think there was 2 podcasts that I completely forgot to do the intention. So we're setting an intention. And today's intention is to find that one thing that you are holding yourself back from and making the smallest actionable step towards that to move and shift that limiting belief of why you're holding yourself back, whether it's your fitness, your health, your mindset, your spiritual evolution, business, relationships, finance, friendships, community, hobbies, whatever it is. Find that one thing that you are holding yourself back from and make one tiny little action step in the right direction of shifting that story. Okay, just a little life update. Let's start with my health, because I feel like that's the most prominent thing at the moment. honestly, my health is feeling really good these last few days. I am just doing basically everything that I spoke about last time, just being really conscious about the things that I'm eating, movement, regulating my nervous system, lots of foot baths, lots of walking, gymming, literally just doing all of the things, eating really well. I just feel like things are changing and I'm starting to feel better. Like I'm feeling a lot happier, a lot more calm, not irritated. My belly's feeling better. Like there's so many things that are just starting to feel better. So my health is feeling really, really good at the moment. I'm about to start my second protocol. If you're new here and you're like, what the hell is going on? Basically, my stomach isn't very healthy and it's creating a lot of deficiencies. And I need to get my stomach, my microbiome really healthy. So then all my deficiencies aren't deficient. And I'm also just trying to replenish a few things as well, but just go back in the podcast and you'll kind of get an understanding. I've been going back and forth with my naturopath just about a few symptoms that have been coming up and just like kind of questioning why they might be happening. So it's been nice to have someone in my world. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, why didn't I do this earlier? Like it's always like this when I get support, whether it's like a coach, a nutritionist, a naturopath. Like I always think, why didn't I do this earlier? Because there's only so much you can do alone. And honestly, I just don't think that we are meant to be like doing life alone. Like I really think we need a tribe, we need a community, and we need that support to help us like evolve and like come into our higher self and just to really get our goals, because we live in such a busy world, you know, like we're doing so much that if we do want to evolve, like we might as well get a coach to then help us get to the next stage rather than us just trying to figure it out and, you know, going down all these pathways. So that's been really good just to have someone in my world helping me with all these things. Same as when I go and see Detail, my acupuncturist. I love seeing him because I just feel like, yeah, he's got all the answers that I need. If you're listening to this, you're like, yeah, I really need to reach out for coaching or some sort of specialist, go into it. Honestly, it's so worth the money. It's worth the time. It's just so worth it for our evolution. So that's my rant about that. Now, if you can't talk about poop, you're just going to have to fast forward. But I want to go to Colonic. So part of this whole gut healing protocol, she suggested getting a colonic, and I did the parasite cleanse however many weeks ago now, and I wanted to get a colon cleanse after that. And then I obviously waited while I figured out what the hell is going on with my digestion with the naturopath and my bloods and stuff. So I went and got a colonic. Now, for those that don't know what a colonic is, so I think there's like two types. There's one more like an enema, where you have a tube that goes obviously into your bottom and it puts water up, but it flushes out into like the little seat thing, and it's like basically a toilet that you like lay in for the whole time, and your poop goes through the hole. And then there's like this closed circuit, which this is what I did, and it's basically a tube that they insert, but also the water goes through that, but also your poop comes out through it as well, and they can see literally what's coming through, and they tell you what's going on and all the feelings and emotions and the procedure, and literally what comes out of you they can like see and describe what's going on within the body. So anyway, this is my first time having this type of colonic, so it was all very new. And also having someone in the room while you're literally pooping, I can't even poop if Zach is in the room. Like I have to be like, you have to leave and be away. I don't know. And even my friends are like, you go first and I'll go second. I literally can't poop when people are around. Anyway, so there was that resistance, which I knew about. I knew that that would be my thing. And I remember that from the last colon that I had. And also the place that I went to, and I went to Naruby down in Colonic, and highly recommend. They mentioned in one of their emails about like come with the intention of releasing, like emotionally, physically, like bring that intention to release, because then it makes things easier, because it's quite an emotional process. And I definitely can't explain it in a way that they could, but we hold so much of our shit, literally. And it's an emotional attachment as well. I feel like I should get them on the podcast because they'll be able to explain it so much better than what I'm trying to. So I came with the intention of relaxing and releasing and letting go, surrendering, not having control. So I get there and she's the loveliest person ever. I went and seen Kirsty, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's so lovely, and she just sits you down and you basically talk through the whole process. You ask me questions. And the best thing about this is she literally laid it out as though she already knew the questions that I was going to ask. Like, I'm assuming everyone always asks the same questions. She literally goes through everything, tells you what's going to happen, how it's going to feel, what might come up, all of these things. Yeah, they fill your colon with body temperature water. It's all filtered and all these things. And then basically what it does is it loosens the stools so then it can all come out. And it just does, like, she said basically the first one does like 1/4 of your colon. So you kind of have to go a few times. So you basically just sit there and it's like 40 minutes that you're going through the process. And it was so uncomfortable for me. The first bit was okay. Like, it was fine. It was kind of like the first little section, like nothing really felt stuck or anything. But then, like, as it came higher up, like, I was getting really uncomfortable, and I got to this place where I couldn't actually even really speak because it was so uncomfortable and there's so much going on. Like, it's not like a normal thing that you do, but I want to get to the stage where it feels normal. Like, I want to be able to be like, yeah, I'll get one, like, all good, no attachments, like no resistance, fully letting go of control. So yeah, it felt emotionally really tough, and just like having to tell myself, like, it's okay to relax, release, let go, surrender. And I basically just repeated that to myself for 40 minutes. It definitely wasn't like, it's not super painful or anything. It's kind of like when you get a bit of gas stuck, or like a bellyache from like you've eaten something wrong. You kind of get that, because basically what happens is when the warm water goes up and like disrupts your stool, basically that is a toxin because you need to excrete it out the body. But once it gets like dispersed with the warm water, your body basically starts taking a little bit of it in, and that's why you get that discomfort and that like sick feeling. So yeah, it was really, really good. It's 40 minutes of like trying to get yourself to relax and release and let go. And honestly, I felt so comfortable with this whole process with Kirsty. Like, honestly, it was so good. Like, I feel fine to go back to her. So 40 minutes, and then after, you basically go to the toilet and you put your feet up, and usually you go, and it is just so crazy to see what the body like holds on to. Like, you think you're like pooping once a day. There's so much stuff still out there. Like, it's wild to me. And yeah, so she told me what was there and basically what my naturopath expected. No parasites, and they can also be further up as well, but no parasites, so that was good. But just like candida and cortisol coming out, so that's interesting, which is just confirming basically what's going on in my stomach, because candida can show up as parasites can show up as candida, like very similar symptoms. So yeah, that was really interesting. And then the cortisol, it wasn't, she's like, it's not super high. It doesn't look like you live the world's most stressful life. Most people have some cortisol come through, but it's just good to see what actually was coming out, because yeah, you don't know until you know, right? So yeah, that was really, really good. I just did some work from a cafe after that, and I was exhausted. Like 40 minutes of like fighting myself basically to relax. Yeah, it was really exhausting, but I kind of had like this string of energy after, where I went and did some work, and then I just like faded. I was like, shit, I need to get home. Like, I'm so tired. I thought I was going to come home for a nap, but I can't remember what I did. I think I just laid in the sun. But yeah, highly recommend a Colonic and Naruby if you've been thinking about it. I'm definitely going to go back this week, and I will let you know how it goes. Obviously, I say so much on here. Like, you guys are like my best friends, so I hope you don't mind me just sharing. Please, actually, if you're listening to this and you have a colonic story, I would love to know your success story, or maybe you actually did love it. Let me know if you have had a colonic or if you want to get one, and tell me about your story. Anyway, so that's my health, and the week has just been a whole bunch of like work. Learn to meditate is so close, guys. If you want to learn to meditate, master your mind, and just create the life that you want to live, this is for you. I think I raved on about it last week, and I don't want to rave on about it too much, but it's actually so good. I put Ayurveda in there. There's a little bit of human design in there. There's yogic philosophy, my experience. Honestly, it is like the most holistic learn to meditate course you're going to come across, and it is perfect for beginners, people just learning, starting out, or maybe you're meditating already, but you're like, I want to take it to the next level. This is for you. Honestly, I wish I had this when I was learning to meditate. Apart from that, this week, I feel like this week I've been so good at caring for my nervous system. Like I've just done a lot of like laying in the sun, moving my body intuitively with like how I'm feeling, making sure that like I stop when I need to stop. I'm really being conscious of having quiet time in the house, or like drives and just wherever I can, rather than filling the space with like YouTube or music, and just like being, just sitting and enjoying, rather than always trying to consume and do things. Because I definitely had this like, and actually no, honestly, it's still something that I'm working through, is that I feel like my value is in how much I do for the day. So I often feel like I need to tick off 1,000 things from my to-do list to feel like I've been successful for the day, which just isn't how it needs to be. Like I don't need to do so many things to feel valued. I just need to do like what is calling me and what feels intuitive. So that is something that I've been working on. For me to sit still and not do anything is so tough. Like, I don't know about you, but I struggled. I don't want to say that, but I find it quite difficult to not have things stimulating me. So I've really been conscious of not always stimulating myself and not always doing something, because there's so much beauty in just sitting and watching the world go past, and just laying and looking at the clouds, or even just reading is fine as well. Sitting on the couch here with my feet in a full bath, like honestly, it's so good. And usually I do not watch TV when Zach's not here, because Zach loves the show, so I will watch a show with him. But usually when he's not here, I will not watch anything unless it's like a documentary, because I always feel like I have to be learning something. But I've been actually dabbling again into Netflix and whatnot to help me relax, because I honestly feel, for me, who's such a busy mind, busy body, to watch a movie is actually very calming. And actually, it's funny because my Vedic meditation teacher, she says that her aura ring reads as though she's meditating while she's watching Netflix. So I'm like, okay, it's not all bad. Like, I feel like I used to have this story around, like, if you're watching like shows, you're just feeding that drama in your body and it's just a waste of time. You could be doing so many other things. Like, I've gotten rid of that. I definitely do think there's a boundary though. Like, you can't watch it all the time, but I am allowing myself to do it for relaxation rather than needing to watch a documentary to learn or for it to be proactive. So yeah, I also went to the markets today with my friend Chloe and Amy, and we sold a bunch of our stuff at the Maroochydore Fisherman's Market. The markets there are so good, and yeah, we sold heaps of stuff because, if you don't know, I'm moving and I don't want to move with a whole bunch of stuff that I've got on Depop. So I'm like, if you want things, I'm going to put a huge sale on my Depop. I've taken heaps of stuff down today because I sold it, and I have a few other things that I need to put on. But yeah, I just would like to get rid of a few things so I don't have to travel with it. We are moving in 5 weeks' time. The time changed because I think I might have said 5 weeks a couple of weeks ago, but it's 5 weeks from today if you're listening in real time, because one, the people that we are going to be renting from, they need to do some more renters to their houses so they can move into it. And 2, Zach literally gets back on the 5th or the 6th, and I also get back on the 5th, on the 6th, which is our move out, like lease end date. So we've extended a couple of weeks so we can both have a little bit more time here to see people, say goodbye, pack the house, get ready and go. So yeah, we're so excited for the move. It's so funny, actually. I've not ever had this question asked me before, but usually, like over West, if you know me well, you'll know that I moved around a lot. But if you're new here, I usually move about every 12 months or so. Like I've done 3 years and 4 years in a couple of places, 2 years. But usually around the 12-month mark, I get this like desire to move. And people, like my friends and family, they just go, oh, cool, like you're moving again, how exciting, where are you going, blah, 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 all those types of things. But here, I've come across a few people, I think like 4 people have gone, oh, because I will say we're moving. And they're like, oh, are you sick of Noosa? Like you're done with it? And I was like, wow, that's such an interesting question. Like, no, like I'm not sick of Noosa. Like I freaking love it here. I just have this desire within me to move. And yeah, it's so interesting to see what people's perspective is, because I'm like, well, are you sick of Noosa? Like what on earth makes someone say that? Like, how do you get... Anyway, we're not moving because we're sick of it. We're literally moving because I float around and I can't help myself. And also, I've lived on the West Coast for 13 years, or like roughly 13 years. I lived a year in... Why did I say 2 years? I lived 1 year in Europe, in the Netherlands. And then I lived pretty much a year in South Australia. I lived in Victoria as a kid and left at 18. I am just such a floater and I love it. I honestly think there's so many places in the world to see. Why holiday? Why not just live there? And it's so easy to move in Australia. For me, personally, it's funny because so many people say that they can't move, or like it's too hard to move, or they want to move, but they don't know how, or they feel like their job is too good, or like whatever the thing is. But I'm like, it's so easy for me. I understand if you've got kids, you've got a business, like a brick and mortar, like a physical shop or like business or something. Like I so understand that. But I'm like, at the end of the day, if you really want to move, like you can so move. If you want tips or like me to do a podcast on that, let me know, because I'm pro mover. Like I'm amazing at moving. I don't mind packing up the house. I don't mind unpacking. I honestly don't mind. Like I in fact love it. And we were going to end this lease anyway because of living on the beach. If you also are new here, I live on the beach. We have to drive on the sand to get to the house. There is no road. And that means that we're driving the Troopy on the beach every single day. And honestly, that it is destroying the car. Like I need a new bull bar. I don't even have a roof rack anymore. I took that off. It does not actually matter how much you wash your car when you live on the beach, because we wash her so much and she's in a terrible state. So we really need to get that fixed. So yeah, we wanted to move on to the mainland, and this house came up through my friend. And yeah, we're just keen to go see that part of the coast. I definitely thought I would stay in Queensland and go to a few other places in Queensland. I still want to, but it just so happened that this come up. It's with friends. It's in a small town. Like we're just so keen. So that's why we're leaving. We're not sick of Noosa at all. We love it here. Zach calls it home. And that's because he doesn't move much. I don't have a place I call home. So that's interesting as well. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's talk about holding yourself back, whether it's your fitness, your health, moving, house, state, country, job, friendships, relationships, whatever it is. Let's talk about why we hold ourselves back and how to rewire these thoughts of ours to make sure that we can live the life that we truly desire. Because I know that, like, for myself, I can see where I'm holding myself back. And then when I truly come to the reason of why I want that thing and why I'm holding myself back, it holds so much power in moving that limiting belief to then go and get the thing. Like I remember wanting to move to Queensland. It would be 6 years ago now, but I wanted to move to Queensland for 4 years, and it took me 4 years to get myself here, get everything happening, and to move through some fears that I even had, because I can move in the state, no worry. I can move in WA, did not bother me. It was the easiest thing, but moving state felt really hard. So I had to move through some limiting beliefs and whatnot to get myself here. But if I could have just moved that limiting belief within the first week of figuring out that I had that limiting belief, I could have moved here much sooner. But I also believe that we all have a process that we need to go through. So everything is perfect anyway. So let's talk about why we are holding ourselves back. I think one of the biggest things why we hold ourselves back is because we're afraid of being seen in that thing. We are afraid of being seen, putting ourselves out there for a business. We're afraid of being seen in the gym, or we're afraid of being seen as the beginner, or we're afraid of starting out, or we're afraid of what if they don't like me, if you're putting yourself out into new friendships, relationships, community. We're afraid of being seen in failure, in the beginning, in the rejection. And I want to speak to all of that. But first, when you're thinking like right now what your biggest thing is that you're holding yourself back in, like once you figure out, right, is it my health, fitness, relationship, career, finances, whatever it is, like figure it out. Okay, what am I holding myself back from? It comes to your mind straight away because it's what you're thinking about most at the moment. So once you've got that, right, I'm holding myself back from new friendships. You have to ask yourself, why? Why am I holding myself back? Is it because, like I was saying, we're afraid of being seen in the gym as the beginner? We're afraid of being seen saying no to the alcohol. We're afraid of being seen in the new friendship circle where you don't know anyone. We're afraid of, what if no one likes my business? What if no one likes me? What if that guy doesn't like me? We're afraid of what others might think and how we might feel. And this is all just a perception. It's all just something that we think might be felt or might happen. And it usually comes from some sort of limiting belief. And we have to ask ourselves, why do I not show up for myself in my health and fitness? Why don't I put myself out there for my business? Why can't I say no to these friendships or this relationship when it's not serving me and go and chase what I do want? And the reason that this podcast came about is because I literally went to my Instagram the other day and I am like, why am I not posting on Instagram? I want to grow an audience and like have this beautiful community of people that are like-minded. We can hang out. We're in the same realm, same circles. Like I just want this beautiful community. Yeah, I literally don't post on socials. I post on my stories, but I'm not posting to the grid, right? And I'm like, why am I not doing that? Why am I holding myself back from like being in this beautiful community and not putting myself out there? And I came to this realization that I'm holding myself back. And I was like, why am I holding myself back? Why am I not posting to my grid? And all of these things came up like, perfectionist, doesn't look good, doesn't match, like I did that ages ago, or these people's grid looks better and their photography is better and their words are better, and like all of this stuff came up and I'm like, why can't I post? And I came to this version of myself who was afraid of being seen in putting herself out there. And you might be like, well, Tegan, you have a podcast, like you do post on stories. And I think because I have a very small following on the podcast, so I'm like, I feel like it's quite safe here. And I feel like stories, they're only up for 24 hours, versus 48 hours, whatever it is. But on the grid, it's there forever and it's quite permanent. And I had this very bizarre relationship with posting them. And yeah, I just kind of kept asking myself, like, why won't I post? Because saying like, I don't have time is an excuse. Saying things like, my words aren't smart enough, it's not enough wisdom, or what if people don't read it right? Like these are just all stories. And it came down to me being like, well, I'm afraid of being seen as showing off or being too much or arrogant. And I have this story from when I was younger about being told that I'm too much or seeking attention, like being an attention seeker or like thinking I'm too good. So basically what I did in that moment is I sent that version of myself so much love, because it's not nice that you do feel like that or that those words were said to me. And I just had to work through like that version of me. And there were a few versions of me that I had to send lots of love to, and just understanding that, yeah, it's not nice that you went through it, but what an opportunity for me to walk through that and then be able to create a new story that posting on my grid isn't me showing off. It's me sharing my wisdom, because that is my life's purpose. Like, I know that I am here put onto the planet to help people with their health and their happiness. Like, I know that till I'm black and blue in the face, that is what I'm put on this planet for. So it's not that I'm showing off that I am fit, or I live this life that I've created, or that I can run 5, 10, like whatever the thing is that I think that I'm showing off about, even like my travels overseas. It's not that I'm showing off. I'm just being the expander for people. I'm being the teacher. I'm being the mentor, whatever the thing is. And I'm promoting my business that I'm a coach and I help people do this. So I really had to work through those stories. So I'm going to help you with your stories today and why you hold yourself back. So I've written a few notes down, and I've written, once we ask ourselves, so right now, think of your limiting belief or why you're holding yourself back, and then ask yourself why are you holding yourself back? What is the reason? Now, once you have the answer, send so much love, compassion, gratitude to that version of you. And like I said, there could be multiple versions where these things happened. Send so much love to them. Really feel the love, really send that to your younger self, because that helps you heal that part. And you might feel it in your chest, in your stomach, and really feel that love go to that version of you to help heal that. Because maybe in that time, you didn't have anyone to have love for you, because maybe you were getting told that you were being too much, or that you were being a show off, or whatever the story is. So send so much love to that version of you. Then what we want to do is we want to see what our words are around it and basically generate a new story around that that's more aligned to your desire, like what you actually authentically want, desire, and how you want to live and be. So go through the areas and figure out what you could do if you're like struggling to figure out where you're holding yourself back. You can go through like some areas of your life. So like fitness, ask yourself, are you holding yourself back because it feels too hard, or you don't want to be seen as a beginner, or you feel silly, or that people might judge your body? Or is it around business, like you're afraid to show up because you think you don't know enough, or wonder what people will think for you changing direction in career? Or are people thinking that you don't know enough? Maybe friendships. Ask yourself why you're continually putting up with like unaligned friends, or just people that, you know, aren't on the same life journey as you. Are you afraid of what they'll say if you decide to not hang out with them? Are you afraid that they'll only want to hang out with you when you're drinking rather than going to the gym? Or are you afraid that they won't accept your new healthy version of you? Or with your health, is it that you're worried people will judge you for when you're saying no now? You know, you might have used to say yes to some lollies and now you're saying no. Like, are you afraid of that judgment and that boundary that you have to withhold and keep? Or are you know, maybe you're in a relationship and you're just putting up with a really unaligned relationship because you're afraid of being single, or you're dependent on them. Like why are you holding yourself back? And you can do like community, your work, like your hobbies. Like, do you want to start a hobby like surfing maybe later in life, or skating, or running, or whatever the thing is, but maybe you're afraid of being seen, or maybe you were told you were uncoordinated? Or just go through all the areas and figure out what your story is. And now we want to create the actual story that we want, the new neural pathway that we want to create around these things. So now you know why, you've sent love to that version of you, right? What do you actually really want to create? right? So for me, I want to build a beautiful community of all you amazing people that listen to this podcast, follow me on Instagram, and create this beautiful friendship and relationship to create like this beautiful community. Right, well, I need a post so people can start to see what I do, and I can get the right people to come in that are all, where we have lots of similarities, so we can all start doing communal things. Or for you, maybe it's with the business, changing career. And the news story is I put myself out there, or I go and do the study, or I quit my job and go to the next job. Same with like relationships, friendships, like leaving what doesn't serve you, and you're now spending time with beautiful, aligned friends, partner, community. Same as finances. The story can be that you're a safer place for money, you're abundant, you're magnetic. Your health is that you're thriving, you're energetic, you're fit, you have endurance. Like, create a new story around what that limiting belief is, because then when it pops up again where you're like, oh, I don't want to post, or oh, I don't want to go to the gym again and be seen as a rookie, or whatever the story is, then you have to tell yourself, remember, Teagues, this is your new story, and then embody that. And that's the next thing, is to go and do the thing, do the action, whether it's literally the smallest thing, like put your gym clothes on and do a Pilates session on YouTube, or, have a hard conversation with your partner or your friends. So once you've created your new story, this is something for you to basically repeat every time your resistance comes up to hold yourself back. And it's quite liberating. Like, when I was like, okay, now I see it and I've sent love to that version, it feels so healed. And now I'm like, oh, cool. Like, now I feel fine to post to socials. And then when things come up, I'm like, oof, remember, Tegan, this is your new story, and embody that and live from that. And it just feels so much lighter and liberating, and like you're actually moving forward rather than like keeping yourself stuck. Something that I really want to talk about is when we are judging others, like when we feel like we're being judged, we're actually judging ourselves and others for doing that, because usually when we have judgment, we are judging them because that is something that we want or we don't like about ourselves, or like whatever the thing is. So for example, people will comment on other people's look, whether it's they put so much effort into the way that they look, the people that curl their hair every day, wear lots of makeup, and they look so well put together and they just look like they're glowing, and whatever the thing is. So I hear people judge that. And the thing is when we judge that, it means that we aren't either allowing ourselves to put that much effort in, or we don't feel good about ourselves. I really want you to like really think about that. I feel like the people that listen to this podcast probably are so well aware, but if you're new to this world of, conscious evolution and just being a better person, a better version of you, when we are judging others, it's often something that we're judging in ourselves. So if you, for example, are feeling judged for saying no to a sugary cookie, it means that you would judge others for saying no to having a cookie. So say you're at your workplace and someone comes in and goes, hey, I made cookies, and you see someone go, oh, no thanks, like I'm watching what I eat. You're judging that, right? And then you go, I'm having some. So watch yourself here. If you are judging them, it means that you actually want to say no to the cookie because you're working on yourself, or you're trying to eat better, or whatever the story is. Or I always hear this example is you see a girl at the bar or the nightclub and she's dancing and she just looks like one of those people that are just like, she's exuding confidence and she looks so feminine and she's just having the best time and she's glowing, and you feel this like little bit of a pull to judge. And that is because you're not allowing yourself that freedom or that confidence or that feeling. And it's not necessarily that you want to go dance on a bar or like whatever the thing is, but maybe she's exuding a trait that you want to have. So maybe it's confidence, maybe it's sexy, maybe it's feminine, maybe it's just having so much fun, or like playfulness, whatever the thing is. It's you're not allowing yourself that. So every time that you feel like you're judging someone, remember that it's probably something that you're not allowing within yourself, or that you're judging yourself on. And just remember, like, you're not a bad person that you've been judging. You're now aware of it. You get to choose better. And then that is just calling you forward. Like, I'm not calling you out if you're judging anything. I'm calling you forward to then step into that version of yourself. So once we become aware of why we're judging others and where our limitations are, it just allows you to move forward into that next evolution of yourself, to like be that higher version of yourself, or if higher version doesn't suit, just that better version of you, the happier version, the healthier version of you. And as humans, I truly believe we're here to evolve. And I was speaking to my friend Chloe today, and we definitely have the same frame of mind about like evolving and ascending into that next level of us. And it's so interesting because I am aware that there are people that are not here for that, and that is so fine. But like, my view is, yeah, we're here to grow and evolve and to become that version of us that's so authentic, and we're thriving and we're reaching all of our desires and living that life. And I think everyone that's listening to this podcast is also thinking the exact same thing. And I also want to mention, like, we need to stop taking life so seriously. Like, life is here to have fun. We are definitely here to evolve through our limiting beliefs and the stories that we come to this earth with, and evolving them. But I really do think play and joy is so important. Like, joy is the highest vibration, right? Like, it's the most beautiful feeling to feel. We might as well feel it. We don't have to be always here trying to fix ourselves and, you know, thinking about all of our limiting beliefs and thinking that the world is ending and we're terrible and we're so slow and we're behind and all of these things. Everything is so perfect how it is. We're all here on our evolution. But yeah, have fun, laugh. It's so important. And I definitely often need this reminder because, yeah, I'm a deep thinker. I'm a Scorpio, and I love to talk deeply and to talk about things and shift emotions and become our highest version and go in deep and figure out where all the shit's laying. And yeah, but at the end of the day, like, we're just here to feel joy. And once we heal all of these things, it makes it so much easier. So make sure you also have fun amongst all of these little potty nuggets that I put out about evolving and ascending into that next level of us, because yeah, joy is here to be had. I also wanted to talk to you about why I think people hold their health and fitness back, because I feel like if you're listening to this, you probably know me through the health and fitness industry. And I think people obviously hold themselves back from like being seen in that new version of themselves, like trying to have those new boundaries that they're not even sure that they can withhold, like saying no to alcohol or saying no to sugary things or the extra pizza piece. Like, people are still learning their own boundaries, let alone doing it in public. It makes it really tough, I guess. So people are really struggling with other people seeing them in that version. And maybe because they've been so unhealthy or so unfit for so long that it feels a bit scary to then go, no, I'm actually going to leave the pub early because I'm going for a run in the morning. Or no, actually I'm not drinking tonight. Or no, actually I'm really trying to stop smoking. Or hey, I'm just going to go do a meditation. Like, I totally understand that the resistance is there when you're trying to be a new version of yourself around those that have known you for so long. So I think that's one of the biggest ones, is being seen in this new version of yourself and wondering if people will come with you or put up a wall or not come along with you. I also think that people think it's easy and they'll feel motivated forever. And honestly, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. There's so many other easier things that you could do, like watching Netflix for hours rather than hitting the gym for an hour. I think people hold themselves back because it actually is harder than what they think it is, because the motivation dwindles and the discipline has to step in, and people aren't aware of that. So then it dwindles and then they revert back to old stories and habits. I also think people aren't, you know, if you're surrounded by people that go to the pub every night and no one exercises, they all smoke and drink and eat whatever, when you're in that circle, it's really tough to move through that and to be the different one. Trust me, I've been there. So when you're not surrounded by people that are making the same healthy choices or evolving on that path, it's really tough. And the resistance that you get can feel really secluding and like you're not part of the tribe anymore, which as a human, we're here to be in tribe and we survive in tribe. So being pushed out of that tribe feels really scary and like that you won't survive. So there's that. I think also people just don't understand that you can be fit and healthy and still like enjoy a croissant, or if you want to still drink, like you don't have to go all out to be healthy and fit. You don't have to do all of the things all of the time. Like you're able to have some leeway. And one of my clients up on site that I have, he's lost 21 kilos, and yet he's really realized that you don't have to go all in and go crazy to lose weight. You can just do it consistently over time. And yeah, you can still enjoy drinks, a pub meal, lollies. Like you can still enjoy everything and lose 21 kilos. Does it take longer? Yes. But does it stay up longer? Yes, because you've created the habits and you've seen the process. So that's kind of why I think people hold themselves back in their health and fitness. And I think everything is quite similar in all the other areas, whether it's relationships, friendships, career, business, finances. There's always those sort of contributing factors. So see what stories you have around the one thing that you are currently holding yourself back from, and give so much love to that version of you. Then create a new story that you actually want and just embody that version. And every time that you feel like you're slipping or that story comes back in, change it. Remember your new story and embody through that. I know that there are just so many things that we could be all doing to live out our potential. Like I feel like we all limit ourselves in some way, shape or form. And I think that is why we are here, just to move through that and to evolve. So let me know what you are currently moving through. I would absolutely love to have a chat over on Instagram. Just come over to teagsley.com, the word .com, and we can have a little chat about it. I'm going to leave you there. Enjoy your week, enjoy your life, do the things that make your heart happy, and shine in your authenticity. Bye.